Who better than me? Welcome back to yet another episode of the Hardcore Casual with your boy, Base the Kid. Like and subscribe, share with a friend, share with a colleague, share with an enemy. Just share it. I appreciate all the views, I appreciate all the comments. This ain't going to be a very long one. A couple things to speak about. The very first one is Gervonta Tank Davis taking on Romero in December. This is the same Ute that said he wasn't impressed by Usyk taking on Joshua the other day. And this is your next opponent. Now, I knew this was going to happen anyway, so it's not a shock to me, but the fact that it's been confirmed just allows me now to fully express just how much in the mud Tank Davis's career is. He's being managed poorly. He's being matched safely. As I said before, he had the talent and the potential. The talent's down here, potential's down here. He ain't getting any better. I mean, he's going to beat the crap out of Rolly Romero because that dude cannot box. I've been in a boxing gym maybe 3 times in my whole life. But I guarantee you, if I was 50 pounds lighter, I'd beat the brakes off of him too. It's horrible. But this is your next fight. And it's likely going to be pay-per-view as well. Well, in America, because over here, we don't give a fuck about it. None of us ain't going to be paying, especially if it's on Fight TV. No. Either streams galore or YouTube the following day. I'm not getting my money. But I'm off that. Like I said before, he needs to do better. Probably won't. I think Floyd realizes that he's Adrian Broner 2.0, so he doesn't want to stop that gravy train just yet. We move on. What else we got? Oh, just found out that BT Sports have now taken the Canelo Plant fight and they're chucking it on pay-per-view. So what do I think about that? I can't remember how many Canelo fights I've had to pay for being over here. But I'll pay the price. I'll pay the $19.95. It's undisputed, 168, first time that will ever happen in the division. So yeah, cool, why not? Makes sense. I'll do that. There's a little bit of beef between the two of them. I mean, I know how the fight's going to end, but I'm just interested to see how we get to the end destination. So yeah, we'll give that a pass. We'll let that slide also. Has there been anything else before I get to the main shit? No, nothing really worth talking about. I'll do a different video on sort of the cards coming up. But it's weird. I want to talk quickly about Eddie Hearn's stable of Valkyries. With the exception of Katie Taylor and Chantel Cameron, they all kind of seem to be faltering at the moment. It's mad. I mean, I know he's got a lot of sort of European and now sort of a couple of sort of Mexican American females coming to the stable as well, a couple of the youngers, but I'm just looking at it, it's like there's just not as many of these women as there should be. I mean, look, Ebony Bridges, for as fun as she is and as, you know, whatever, like, she got piped up in her last fight, got a gift decision. I mean, her value is, let's be honest, based on her outside of the ring antics more than her inside. That's not me saying she can't fight or whatever, but I'm just saying that her value is not her skills in the ring. It's everything else. Then we've got Ellie Scotney. Arguably one of the best natural talents he's got in the stable. I ain't seen her fight in God knows how long. And she's from the blue, so I support Ellie. But I'm just like, where's she at? What's going on with her? Right? You lost Savannah Marshall, which was one of the champions you had, one of the sort of, I guess, the marquee names, all leading towards the Clarissa Shields fight. Okay, she's gone. Now it appears like Natasha Jonas could be on her way out the door. She signed she signed officially to Matchroom the other day. Then there was rumors coming out that she was about to leave Matchroom and head over to Sky. But she showed up back on the cards. No, I'm with Matchroom. But then she was supposed to be out in the summer, I believe, in August. Nothing happened. Now she was supposed to be on this Liverpool card. You know, on the ends it makes sense. Now she's not on the card. Now ultimately, from the couple stories I've heard from a couple of different sources, this one might be more on her team than Eddie. I still need to hear her official side of this, and hopefully maybe she'll reveal properly what's going on. She's saying that, from what I read on Twitter, she's saying that she was guaranteed some kind of comeback fight if or when that she lost the Katie Taylor fight, and it didn't happen in August, and she didn't like the opponents that were given to her for the fight in October. And her manager said the same thing, like, oh, well, you don't give someone former title contenders or ex-world champions as their comeback fight. But I had to tweet to Natasha earlier on. I'm like, yo, you're one of the best fighters between 130 and 140 pounds. Why do you need a comeback fight, aka a knockover job? No, realistically, you need good quality competition to keep you sharp and to keep you tested and keep you focused for when you get either your Katie Taylor rematch or your Chantel Cameron fight or whatever other big fights there are for you. Because you've still got stock in the game. Right now, people look at you as the nearly girl, the also ran, but it's quite easy for you to become champion. I believe that you can get there before you end up calling it a day. But you're not going to do it with comeback fights or inactivity or not fighting when you should be fighting. And ultimately, we all know that the women's purses, generally speaking, ain't that great. So if that's the case, you might as well be fighting more active if the if the prices ain't increasing yet. Stay active, keep getting that money, keep building on the skills, keep raising your profile so that when those next fights come, you've got a much bigger marquee value. And this doesn't just go towards Natasha, but that's who I'm talking about right now. Obviously, then we've got the Rhiannon Dixon thing. She's off the card. Now, her thing just seems to be a bit of bad luck. And obviously, with the whole pandemic and whatnot, travel bans between certain countries, cool, I get it. Sometimes you just can't get the fighters into the country. So if someone ducks out, it's hard to find replacements. I get that. So that's just a bit unlucky. But ultimately, it went from having a strong female presence on this Liverpool card to none at all. Well, okay, I lie. I forgot. There is someone else on the card. Good old-faced assassin, Shannon Courtney. Now, I'm begging for someone to get that girl to take that baby face out of her ring name because it's misleading the public. It's fraudulence is what it is. I don't think she's had a baby face since she was a baby, if I'm being totally honest. And I'm not even trying to disrespect. I just do not like being lied to. Furthermore, you got gifted a belt against someone who was just as much of a novice as you, and then all of a sudden you can't even make weight to keep it. did you really need that much of a physical advantage over Jamie Mitchell? Is that what we're dealing with now? I mean, you're fully in the mud. You're not getting that. I don't see you getting that belt back. Because even if you beat Jamie Mitchell tomorrow, which you very well might, but she ain't gonna be an easy night's work for you. Do you think the WBA are just gonna gift you another soft touch for the title again? A rematch with Ebony? No, that's not gonna happen. Who else is down there? Oh yeah, Melissa Odessa's down at them weights, ain't she? Take that fight. If you really want to prove that you're one of the best out there, take that fight. What's Daniela Bermudez's sister's name? Take the other Bermudez sister. Who else is around there? Off the top of my head, all of a sudden all these names are... One sec, let me get my phone. Ah, Dina Forsland. Yeah, fight Dina Forsland for in a unification bout. How about that? I mean, you want to unify, you want to be number one, right? This ain't even to bash Shannon, to be honest. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, like, this Matchroom stable of females is starting to dwindle. And ultimately, again, as I said, whether Jonah stays or not, Tasha's 36, Katie Taylor is what, 34, 35? Outside of them two, the others are either inexperienced or just not good enough. Like, I think Ellie's the truth, to be honest. Ellie Scotney, I think she's the truth. I think Chantel Cameron's the truth. Raven, is Raven Chapman with Matchroom? I think she is. Who's the other ones that they got over there? There's a couple others. Like I said, the names are escaping me off the top of my head right now. But there's some good prospects, but they're just not getting out. I don't feel like they're getting out regularly enough. And yeah, they say, oh, you don't have to have 15 to 20 fights in the women's division before you fight for a title because the talent pool ain't as deep. But in them weights down there, you should be active. Realistically, every 3 to 4 months. Realistically, I think you should be out there 3 times minimum a year. I would generally tend to say you should be fighting 5 times. Unless injured, unless pregnant, or, you know, whatever other womanly issues may occur. Like, I can't really speak to that, but 3, 4, 5 times a year is not unrealistic. There's more than enough cards, whether they're in the UK, whether they're in Italy, whether they're in France, whether they're in Spain, whether they're in the US. You can get that working. Stay active, stay sharp, keep building, keep building your profile, keep building your knowledge, your ring IQ, and you're good to go. But the current crop, I'm not too keen on, especially the ones that are being pushed as like the stars. As I said, outside of Tash and outside of Katie, it's not looking great. And if Tash does move off to over to Sky, then it's another weird one. Like, what's gonna happen there? Don't know. But anyway, look, that's my thoughts on that for the time being. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna be waiting for the weigh-in for Fury Wilder, and after that, I will be giving a prediction on that, as well as possibly running down my thoughts on some of the other fights on that card, and maybe even the fights on the Liverpool show as well. But it's definitely going to be a great day of boxing. Saturday is a bountiful feast, and I do plan to get very fat. So yeah, like and subscribe as I said, and for now, Hardcore Casual out.